Bolivian government has confirmed that the Wednesday botched military coup in the country was first planned by some military leaders and the civilian staff of the detained and dismissed army chief, General Juan José Zuniga, in the month of May 2024. The Bolivian government statement made available on Thursday indicated that the civilian staff of the detained former army chief is the one that developed the operational strategies to execute the botched coup. Consequently, a video posted online showed numbers of military and civilian leaders being arrested and taken into custody in addition to the 3 top military generals earlier arrested and detained in connection with the botched coup on Wednesday. President Luis Arce has refuted claims that the botched coup was stage-managed as a political stunt requested by him to gain popularity. CNN, while reporting the Bolivian government press statement, stated in quote thus, Bolivia has arrested more than a dozen high-ranking military and intelligence officials following a failed attempt to unseat the country's president in a coup allegedly led by its former army chief. Military officials first held meetings in May to plot the coup attempt on Wednesday, which involved mobilizing armed forces toward the capital's main square and seizing power by force, according to a report sent to CNN by the Bolivian government. The meetings were led by former Army Chief General Juan José Zuniga and former Navy Commander General Juan Alaez, with Zuniga's civilian personal advisor allegedly devising the strategy of the coup, the report claims. All 3 men are among 17 people arrested so far in connection with Wednesday's events, most of them members of the military, the report says. Other top officials arrested include military intelligence chief Julio Buitrago. The coup attempt, which was condemned by the Bolivian government and international leaders, comes as the South American country of roughly 2 major military leaders that led a coup against the government of Bolivia botched by large crowds of civilians on Wednesday have been arrested. The Bolivian military coup was thwarted as citizens outnumbered national police and military troops, forcing the security operatives to withdraw from the presidential palace and run for safety to avoid using their weapons to kill innocent civilians, as seen in the videos posted online by residents and eyewitnesses. Former Army and Navy commanders, Juan José Zuniga and Juan Alaez Salvador, were identified as the main architects of the coup attempt and were arrested immediately. Bolivian Defense Minister, Edmundo Novilo, reportedly confirmed that Juan José Zuniga was dismissed on Tuesday night by President Luis Arce. At a press conference, Interior Minister, Eduardo Del Castillo, said the 2 officers would be tried for crimes related to internal security. Troops led by Bolivia's Army General, Commander Juan José Zuniga, had attempted a coup by seizing the presidential palace and surrounding square. Reports said a tank rammed the palace doors. However, after international condemnation and pressure, General Zuniga ordered his soldiers to retreat within hours. President Arce praised the withdrawal as a win for Bolivia's democracy and addressed the nation following protests against the alleged coup attempt. According to Reuters, Bolivian armed forces pulled back from the presidential palace in La Paz and a general was arrested after President Luis Arce launched a coup attempt against the government and called for international support. Earlier in the day, military units led by General Juan José Zuniga, recently stripped of his military command, had gathered in the central Plaza Morillo Square, home to the presidential palace and Congress. Today the country is facing an attempted coup d'etat. Today the country faces once again irregular movement and mobilization of soldiers have been observed around the presidential palace in Bolivia and the state capital Central Square, igniting a fear of possible military coup in the South America country. Bolivian President Luis Arce denounced the irregular mobilization of some army units in La Paz and former leader Evo Morales accused a top general of plotting a coup. A recent video showed the Bolivian president, Luis Arce, in a direct face-to-face confrontation with the leader behind the attempted military coup in Bolivia, right at the entrance of the presidential palace. Photos and videos taken outside Bolivia's presidential palace in La Paz on Wednesday, June 26, and posted online showed military police outside the main entrance as an armored vehicle rammed into the door of the palace. Soldiers were also seen firing tear gas outside the Legislative Assembly as President Luis Arce raised alarm of an irregular deployment of troops in the capital. Bolivian television also showed Arce confronting the Juan José Zuniga, the general commander of the army, in a hallway in the palace. I am your captain, and I order you to withdraw your soldiers, and I will not allow this insubordination, Arce said. Zuniga told journalists before entering the palace, surely soon there will be a new cabinet of ministers. Our country, our state cannot go on like this. He added that, for now, he recognizes President Arce as commander-in-chief, the AP reports. Protests in Bolivia have intensified in the last few months as the Bolivian economy worsens and Arce and his former ally, former President Evo Morales, have been fighting for the future of the country's movement for socialism, MAS, ahead of 2025 elections. Bolivian armed forces took over the capital's Central Square on Wednesday, and an armored vehicle rammed through the entrance to the Money Now Water celebrity barman, Pascal Okechukwu aka Cubana Chief, who displayed words of dollars on Tuesday at the carnival-like wedding ceremony of Davido and Chioma Tags Chivido, has been set free by a federal high court sitting in Lagos State after he agreed with the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, to pay the sum of 10 million naira as out-of-court settlement for spraying Nigerian naira notes. EFCC in a statement said the court acted in line with the law establishing EFCC in the year 2004. Same offense, well-known cross-dresser, Idris Okuneye aka Bobrisky was convicted and sentenced to 6 months imprisonment with no option of fine. Bobrisky is currently serving his jail term at Nigeria Prison or Correctional Center in Lagos State since April 2024. EFCC in a statement issued on Tuesday defended its action and supported the action of the court on the ground that Cubana Chief Priest agreed to pay 10 million nairas, an amount the commission said it's far more higher than the stipulated penalty fee of 50,000 nairas if the celebrity barman was convicted and given an option of fine. Consequent on the judgment of Justice Kehinde Ogunda of the Federal High Court sitting in Lagos on the terms of settlement of the 3-count charges bordering on abuse of naira notes preferred against Okechukwu Pascal, alias Cubana Chief Priest, by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, it is needful to emphasize that the Commission acted in line with Section 14(2) of its Establishment Act, 2004. This section of the EFCC's Establishment Act empowers the Commission to compound any offense, subject to provisions of Section 174 of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria by accepting such sum of money as it deems fit exceeding the maximum amount by which the offender would have been liable if he had been convicted. Today, Kenyan Medical Association has confirmed that more people are still being treated with serious gunshot injuries, with 13 of them already pronounced dead. Simon Kigondu, president of the Kenyan Medical Association, said that the figure of 13 deaths was not the final number. Recent video on Wednesday showed moments some of the protesters were being helped and some still running with one of their hands on their buttocks, seemingly trying to ease themselves of the pains of the bullets. The video also showed that some of the protesters were shot on their buttocks with sounds of gunfire heard repeatedly in quick succession in a war-like situation. Crowd of protesters ran into the parliamentary building in Nairobi, Kenya on Tuesday trying to stop the members of parliament from passing the controversial Finance Bill 2024 into law. The lawmakers went ahead and passed the bill on Tuesday and presented it to President William Ruto to sign it into law. The bill is yet to be signed into law as aggrieved Kenyans continued with the protest against the Finance Bill 2024 aimed to increase taxes in the country. The parliament passed the bill and escaped the anger of the protesters through underground tunnel after 195 members of the parliament voted in favor for the bill and 106 voted against the bill, with 3 of the total votes spoiled, according to eyewitnesses. For weeks, a lot of Kenyans took to the streets and called for the stoppage of the bill with hashtag Reject Finance Bill. Protests in Nairobi and other towns all over the country. A section of the parliament building was also set ablaze on Tuesday by the protesters who appeared to be mostly young people in their youthful age, according to videos posted online by eyewitnesses. Kenyan activist Omar Obama, the half-sister of former U.S. President Barack Obama, was among those tear-gassed during the protests outside the parliament building in Nairobi. Not less than 19 persons have been confirmed dead when gunmen on Sunday engaged security operatives in a street gun battle after the gunmen attacked a church and a police post at Makachkala and Dagan cities of northern Caucasus region of Dagestan province in Russia. Reports also indicated that Russian military personnel later surrounded the gunmen and killed 6 of them and arrested 2 sons of a community held in Dagestan. The gunmen had operated almost successfully, moving from street to street, killing some policemen in close range according to videos of eyewitnesses posted online. 4 civilians, including a priest, and 15 police officers were killed by the gunmen in the coordinated simultaneous attacks in Russia's southern part of Dagestan province. According to Al Arabian News, Russian troops neutralized at least 6 gunmen following an attack on a synagogue, an Orthodox church and a police post in Dagestan. At least 15 police officers were killed in the attack, according to local authorities. Gunmen shot at a synagogue and church in Dagan, as well as a police post in Makachkala. Gunmen opened fire at a synagogue, an Orthodox church and a police post in attacks across 2 cities in Russia's North Caucasus region of Dagestan on Sunday, killing an Orthodox priest and at least 15 police officers, the region's health said. This is a day of tragedy day for Dagestan and the whole country, Sergei Melikov, governor of the Dagestan region, said in a video published early on Monday on the Telegram messaging app. The simultaneous attacks across the cities of Makachkala and Dagan came 3 months after 145 people were killed in an attack claimed by the ISIS on a concert hall near Moscow, Russia's worst terrorist attack in years. There was no immediate claim of responsibility for the attacks in the volatile North Caucasus region. About 16 persons have been reportedly found dead when neon batteries at a warehouse in South Korea exploded on Monday morning. Some residents said similar incident had occurred the previous day Sunday with a massive fire at a battery recycling warehouse in Paisley, Glasgow, and some of the people claimed the fire outbreak at Paisley, Glasgow was deliberate. Today there is a massive fire at a neon battery manufacturing warehouse in Western South Korea, one of the residents tweeted. What had triggered the explosion remains unclear as government officials are yet to issue statements regarding the battery's explosion. International news agencies have reported that the massive factory fire that began after several neon batteries exploded has killed at least 16 people in South Korea. We learned the blaze broke out on Monday morning at the Arichel plant in Western City, about 45 kilometers, 28 miles south of South Korea capital, Seoul. Footages from local television showed explosions going off as firefighters sought to put out the fire with sand, avoiding water. A part of the roof had collapsed, as seen in the footages posted online. South Korea is considered the leading producer of lithium batteries, which are used in many items from electric vehicles to laptops. Western's medical authority, St. John-sik, said 16 people have been confirmed dead while 7 others were injured. Similar the statement after South Korean news agency, Yonhap news agency had earlier reported that some 20 bodies have been found inside the plant, but Mr. Kim told a televised briefing that 16 people died and 2 others have suffered serious injuries. The Arichel factory housed an estimated 35,000 battery cells on its second floor, where the batteries were inspected and packaged, with more stored elsewhere, according to local authorities. Local men of the Nigeria Anti-Illicit Drugs Police, National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA have arrested 2 suspected persons in Edo State when the police operatives invaded the illicit drugs shrine guarded by a big blacksmith at a Go community in a Go local government area in Benin Metropolis. NDLEA spokesperson, Femi Babafemi, in a news statement on Sunday, also said the NDLEA operatives in another raid intercepted 8.2 kilograms methamphetamine concealed in imported chocolate packs in Lagos and nabbed 76-year-old grandfather with 340.8 kilograms drug consignment in Abuja. The statement reads in quote thus, a snake-guarded shrine used to store illicit drugs in a Go community, Benin City, Edo State, has been raided by operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, who detected a specially constructed large hole storage in the wall covered with wallpapers and fetish objects. Different quantities of illicit substances such as methamphetamine, loud, Colorado and Arizona, all strong strands of cannabis with a total weight of 8.743 kilograms, were pulled out from the deep hole dug in the wall of the shrine building. At least 2 ladies, Sonia Chinonso Ezumezu and Risikatu Tijani, were arrested during the intelligence-led operation on Tuesday the 18th of June 2024 after the big blacksmith guarding the shrine was demobilized. In the same vein, 2 suspects, Obi Fagosin, 45, and Ernest Abanom, 46, were arrested on Saturday the 22nd of June when NDLEA operatives raided the Using Forest in Obia's southwest local government area, Edo State, where 209 kilograms cannabis and a motorcycle were recovered. Meanwhile, NDLEA Pastor Chris Oyakhilome has said that nothing happened to a child of God by accident, adding that the early morning fire that engulfed the Christ Embassy Church headquarters in Lagos State on Sunday is the plan of God Almighty for the church to build a more bigger and beautiful one. Pastor Chris stated this during a live Sunday service at the church's Camp Lam in Assis, Ogun State, in response to the fire occurrence at the church headquarters in Lagos State. An inferno had engulfed the headquarters of Christ Embassy Church located in the Oregun area of Ikeja, Lagos State, leading to the destruction of the building and millions of naira worth of other properties. Pastor Chris said the fire occurrence was on God's plan and it means the church will destroy the entire building and erect a bigger and a more beautiful edifice to put the devil to shame. The affected church headquarters, the Love World Convocation Arena of the Love World Nation aka Christ Embassy located in the Oregun area of Ikeja, Lagos State, caught fire on Sunday morning after it had reportedly suffered vibration during the Ikeja cantonment bomb blast years ago. President and founder of Love World Incorporated, well known as Christ Embassy, Pastor Chris Oyakhilome, in response during the Sunday service, said that the fire incident at the church's headquarters was not an accident but an avenue for bigger and better things. In quote, Pastor Chris said, nothing happens in the life of a child of God by accident. During the 2001 Ikeja cantonment bombing incident, the building vibrated so much and we thought it was going to collapse. I thought to myself that if it collapsed, I was going to build a bigger, better one. At the end of the day, it didn't collapse and we called the engineers to see if there was any need to bring it down and rebuild, but it was still okay. Lagos State Fire and Rescue Service, in a number of tweets on Sunday, stated that at 7:27, shortly after receiving new set of military helicopters, men of the Armed Forces of Nigeria, AFN, has rescued children and women kidnapped by Boko Haram terrorists in Borno State. The Nigerian Army Authority, in a statement on Friday, said, in a series of coordinated counter-terrorism operations, troops deployed in the northeast, in collaboration with vigilante and hybrid forces, have made remarkable strides in combating terrorist activities in the region. These operations have resulted in the neutralization of terrorists, rescue of hostages, as well as recovery of arms and other assorted items. In Gwoza local government area of Borno State, troops executed an ambush operation targeting terrorist staging areas around Punka and Ashagashia. During the operations, troops made contact with the terrorists, neutralizing one, while others fled in disarray, abandoning their belongings. The troops successfully rescued 7 women and 9 children from the clutches of the terrorists. The troops also recovered 1 submachine gun, SMG, 3 bicycles, 4 blankets, cooking utensils, and several other items. Similarly, troops conducted an ambush operation in the Komala General area of Borno State. The operations resulted in the neutralization of 1 terrorist and the recovery of 2 AK-47 rifles with 2 magazines containing 29 rounds of 7.62mm special ammunition and 91 belted links of PKT ammunition. Additional items recovered include 1 SMG, 2 AK-47 rifles, 1 SMG magazine, 9 rounds of 9mm ammunition, and 1 motorbike. In a separate operation in Benue State, troops in response to intelligence reports about terrorist movements in Ayati village. Deputy Assistant Secretary of State for Israeli-Palestinian Affairs, Andrew Miller has resigned from President Joe Biden administration, becoming almost 10 top U.S. officials to have resigned since the Israeli war in Gaza City of Palestine began. Andrew Miller is reported to be a non-resident scholar at the Carnegie Endowment for International Peace. He previously worked at the National Security Council and the State Department on a variety of Middle East issues. In 2022, Andrew Miller became the Deputy Assistant Secretary of State for Israeli-Palestinian Affairs in the Bureau of Near Eastern Affairs at the U.S. Department of State, spending only 1 year and 7 months in the office. He has served as a senior policy advisor to U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations Linda Thomas-Greenfield, covering the Middle East and North Africa, counterterrorism, political military affairs, and intelligence. Also, between 2017 to 2020, Andrew Miller was the Deputy Director for Policy at the Project on Middle East Democracy, POMED, and a non-resident scholar in the Carnegie Endowment for International Peace's Middle East Program. His biography indicated that Miller's previous government assignments included serving as the Director for Egypt and Israel military issues on President Obama's National Security Council from 2014 to 2017, where he was involved in deliberations regarding U.S. security assistance to Egypt and Israel and Middle East peace, among other issues. He also worked at the U.S. Department of State in a variety of intelligence and policy roles, including in the Bureau of Intelligence and Research, Secretary of State, Hillary Clinton's policy planning staff, and at the U.S. embassies in Cairo and Doha. Miller earned A in Political Science from Dickinson College and an M.A. in Foreign Affairs from the University of Virginia. Political crisis between the Nigerian Minister of FCT, who is also the former governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, and Governor Siminalayi Fubara may have resorted to street fighting and killings in the South State shortly after the governor dissolved and put an end to the tenure of the local government chairman in the state. The action has made police operatives to take over the 23 local government area secretariats, preventing both the caretaker committee chairman and the former occupants of the seats from accessing the secretariats for local government business activities. Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara, while swearing in the 23 local government caretaker committee chairpersons, said his reason of ending the tenure of the former local government chairman is, in furtherance of our determined steps to stabilize our polity, I swore in chairman of caretaker committees to manage the affairs of our 23 local government areas after the expiration of the tenure of the immediate past chairman. As nature abhors a vacuum, our action is to ensure that we don't give vent to tenure elongation, which is alien to our constitution. Upon swearing in, I charge the caretaker chairman to protect the interests of their people in the grassroots leadership and to promote peace and order in their domains. As a government that strongly adheres to accountability, I also ordered for the audit of the activities of the administration of the 23 local government areas in the past 3 years in order to ascertain the proper utilization of funds within the period. On Thursday, the Inspector General of Police, IGP, Kande Egbetukun, directed the continuation of the police barricade on local government secretariats in Rivers State to prevent a breakdown of law and order. IGP Egbetukun gave the directive while fielding questions from journalists in Abuja on the sideline of a conference with commissioners of police and other senior officers. IGP said police will continue to occupy the secretariats until the 10th leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, has called on all secessionist armed group operating either as unknown gunmen, Biafra Liberation Army or Biafra National Guard to stop killing soldiers in the southeastern states of Nigeria, adding that the killing of soldiers is producing young widows whom he led, some of them and their slain husbands are natives of Biafra or indigents of Biafra communities. Nnamdi Kanu made the call on Wednesday when he appeared before the Federal High Court Abuja, where he is being tried for treasonable felony charges. Hundreds of soldiers have been killed in the southeast states since August 9, 2021, when sit-at-home protests began in the southeastern states of Nigeria, considered to be Biafra land, over federal government failure to produce the re-arrested IPOB leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, at the scheduled court sitting in Abuja after he was re-arrested in Kenya. On May 30, 2024, over 5 soldiers were killed at Obikavia Junction at a military checkpoint in Abia State. Although the Nigeria Defense Headquarters in the statement accused members of indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, and its armed affiliate, Eastern Security Network, ESN, to be responsible for the killing of Biafra Defense Headquarters, the parent military formation of Biafra Resistance Fighters and Biafra Liberation Army, in a tweet, claimed responsibility over the mass killing of the soldiers. The killing of soldiers in the southeastern states is usually celebrated by the Prime Minister of Biafra government in exile, Simon Ekpa, who referred to the soldiers as terrorists sent by the Nigerian government to destroy or kill innocent Biafrans. Nnamdi Kanu, in a conversation with his lawyers as shown in a video posted online on Wednesday after the lawyers told him that he needed to speak up to stop the killings in the southeast states, said, and in quote, "I condemn any manner of killing. Every manner of killing, I condemn in its entirety." Group of gunmen on Friday in a separate attack invaded the residence of Dr. Moses Olusoji Adebisi, the chief executive officer of Thriller Travels aka Tiste Moses. Also on the same day attacked a speedboat and kidnapped Mohammed Fouani, the managing director of Fouani Company, the said representative of LG and Hisense Products, and 3 other Lebanese nationals in Lagos State, Nigeria. It was gathered that the gunmen attacked the Taylor Travels bus residents in the morning, destroying properties including parts of the CCTV cameras in the building. Another attack of gunmen occurred in the evening in which the Fulani MD and the 3 Lebanese who were traveling on a speedboat were kidnapped. According to Sahara reporters, the unknown gunmen attacked the residence of Dr. Moses Olusoji Adebisi, located in Lekki County, the Ajah area of Lagos, on Friday morning. The attack reportedly resulted in significant damage to property including CCTV cameras, security wiring, vehicles, doors and other items. Following the attack on the home of Adebisi, the Ikota police station in Lagos has reportedly launched an investigation. Adebisi told the industry newspaper that the attack on his Lekki County residence occurred while everyone, including the gatekeeper, was away. Adebisi stated that the gatekeeper had reportedly gone to a nearby prayer ground for devotion when the assailants carried out their destructive operation. An eyewitness who spoke on condition of anonymity said, the attackers dressed in military uniforms, came with 3 different cars, and distributed themselves around the house, and when they could not get the occupants of the house, they started destroying properties such as cars, CCTV cameras, doors and then left. In response to the destructive attack on his Lekki County residence, Adebisi has implored the authorities to swiftly conduct a comprehensive investigation. 8 soldiers and 2 reservists have been confirmed dead in a bomb blast launched by Hamas fighters on Saturday morning at the southern Gaza city of Rafah. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu did not mention the numbers of Israeli military personnel killed in the attack while addressing the nation on Saturday, but the Israel Defense Forces said 8 soldiers were killed. A photograph showing the list of people killed in the attack also indicated that 2 reservists were among the Israeli fighters killed in the bomb blast. Many close watchers said the Saturday killing of Israeli troops by Hamas marked the deadliest incident for the Israel Defense Forces in the enclave since January. It would be recalled, in January 2024, 21 Israeli troops were reportedly killed in a single attack by Palestinian Hamas fighters in Gaza. Only one of the soldiers was named by the Israeli Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, as of Saturday afternoon, Captain Hossein Mahmoud, 23, a deputy company commander in the Combat Engineering Corps 601st Battalion from the northern Druze majority town of Beth Jan. We learned that a tracked minefield set of the explosion, according to the armed wing of Hamas, in what the fighters group described as a complex ambush against enemy vehicles. YASSIN 105 RPGs were fired at AD-9 military bulldozer, and a rescue force vehicle that arrived later on the scene was also attacked, killing all of its occupants, according to Hamas. The Israeli military said that an explosive side bomb was what caused the explosion of the Nimera armored vehicle. In addition, on the vehicle there were engineering tools that included explosive material. The explosion was significant and may have been caused by the ignition of the explosive material on the vehicle. All this is not supposed. Operatives of the Nigeria Anti-Illicit Drugs Police, National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, have arrested some family members in Aba, the commercial city of Abia State, over 4.1 billion naira worth in value cocaine allegedly found in the warehouse in the state. NDLEA spokesperson Femi Babafemi made this known in a news release issued on Sunday. According to the NDLEA, the kingpins of the illicit drug cartel were taken down after their siblings were arrested in their hideout in the Aba between last Thursday and Friday. The Anti-Illicit Drugs Police operatives. The statement reads in quote thus: a cartel controlled by a drug baron, 49-year-old Kelechi Mone Nwabasi, and his 50-year-old elder sister, Chinwe Rose Nwabasi, has been taken down by officers of the Special Operation Unit of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, following the arrest of the siblings and seizure of cocaine and methamphetamine consignments worth over 4.1 billion naira in street value from their hideout in Aba, Abia State. The special operation conducted on Thursday 13th and Friday the 14th of June 2024 at 3B. Boundary Avenue, Aba, and a residence along Ohia Road, Ohia, Abia State, followed months of intelligence gathering, leading to the arrest of the ringleaders and the combined seizure of 20.76 kilograms of cocaine and methamphetamine from them. In a related development, NDLEA operatives in Lagos State have uncovered an expansive warehouse stocked with a large consignment of codeine-based syrup, located at Comfort Omo area of Kirikiri, where 4 persons connected with the importation and distribution of the opioid were arrested during an intelligence-led raid on the facility. Those arrested include Kingsley Amanambo Obamneke, 38, Emeka Emmanuel, 40, Benin Monarch, Omonova Nido Uku Apollo Oba Ewaretu has clarified and maintained the neutrality of the palace of the Benin Kingdom in the forthcoming governorship election in Edo State, saying he is not aware that any son of the Oba current or of blazed memory who do refer to themselves as son of the palace involved or contesting in the forthcoming governorship election in the state. Oba Ewaretu made the clarification on Saturday when former Anambra State Governor and Labour Party presidential candidate in the last general elections in Nigeria, Peter Obi, led the Labour Party governorship candidate in the forthcoming Edo State Guba poll, Barrister Olumide Akpata, to officially inform the Benin monarch of the electioneering interest and seek royal blessings in the forthcoming governorship race. Barrister Olumide Akpata had introduced himself as the son of the palace while speaking the visit. According to the Benin monarch, the statement led him to make inquiry from one of the palace chiefs to know if truly the Labour Party candidate is one of the sons of the palace, and in clear terms, Oba Ewaretu said based on the information from the palace chief, he is not aware of any son of the palace contesting in the governorship poll. The Benin monarch said that there are people who may be distantly related to the palace that are not actually members of the royal family that do often address themselves as children of the palace, adding that he is not aware of any child of the palace into politics for the sake of the press and clarification before the public. Olumide Apata quickly responded and withdrew his earlier statement that he is a son of the palace and apologized to the Benin monarch. That aside, Peter Obi in a tweet said that, today, in Benin City, Edo State capital, I joined the Labour Party gubernatorial candidate, Barrister Olumide Apata, and his running mate, Alhaji Yusuf Kadiri, as they officially launched their campaign for the Edo State Governorship 2024 elections. Edo State Governor, Godwin Obaseki has said that the Benin traditional youth leaders known as Oka Ikele and secret cult members in Edo State are building up arms in the Edo South Senatorial District. The governor disclosed this when he received the General Officer Commanding, GOC, 2 Division, Nigerian Army, Major General Obina Onubudu, who was on a courtesy visit at the government house, Benin City on Friday, according to Channels Television. Governor Obaseki had early in the month of June 2024 banned the activities of the traditional youth leaders, Oka Ikele, and set up task force to tackle the menace of the youth leaders and secret cult members. The ban on the activities of the Oka Ikele has stirred controversies among some natives of the state, with some insisting that the governor has no power to ban the age-long tradition of Oka Ikele. In earlier statement issued on June 12, 2024, Governor Obaseki said, "We have decided to go full blast against cultists and cultism in the state and have now passed an anti-cultism law that will be implemented to its fullest. Additionally, we have banned the activities of Oka Ikele, youth leaders, in the Edo South Senatorial District of the state." These were some of the decisions reached after the Security Council meeting with service chiefs in the state, where we reviewed the security situation in Edo State since January 2024, with particular emphasis on the security activities in May. Council has set up a special task force, headed by the Director of DSS, that will, starting tonight, review every cult-related occurrence in the state. We have declared full war on cultists and Oka Ikele in Edo State. After the meeting, we launched patrol Sienna buses and motorcycles to strengthen the state's joint security operations. Nigerian Army has said that the tension that was observed among residents in the Umuejimo quarters at Umuaku village in the Umuniochi local government area of Abia State on Thursday was as a result of gun battle that ensued between troops of the armed forces of Nigeria and unknown gunmen. The military authority described as members of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, and its armed affiliate, Eastern Security Network, ESN. Earlier, residents took to social media to raise alarm with video recording of tension in the Umuaku community. According to some of the residents, homes were broken and a lot of youths in the community were taken away by the military. Adding, there was sporadic gunshots in Umuejego, Aguma, and also areas of the Umuaku community. The military authority in a news statement few hours ago said that a combined team of security operatives engaged the unknown gunmen at their camps both at the Umudi and Umuaku areas in the local government, which led to the killing of 2 of the unknown gunmen. Sequel to additional intelligence gathered in the aftermath of recent raid operations against the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, and its armed wing, the Eastern Security Network, ESN, conducted in the Ihechiwa community of Arochukwu local government in Abia State. Troops in collaboration with other security agencies have intensified their operations by raiding and clearing IPOB ESN camps in the Umudi Forest and Umuaku areas of Umuniochi local government area today. The operations commenced with an offensive on the first terrorist camp, where troops encountered resistance, and in the firefight, troops neutralized 2 terrorists, while others took to their heels, having been overwhelmed by superior firepower. The terrorist camp was subsequently destroyed. Further operations led to the destruction of a shrine and another camp, with several items recovered from the sites. Items recovered in former governor of Anambra State, Peter Obi, has said that the falling of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu at the Eagle Square on Wednesday during the Democracy Day celebration in Abuja is something that could have happened to anybody. Peter Obi, who was the Labour Party LP presidential candidate in the last general elections in Nigeria, said he was saddened to learn about the incident. In his words, Peter Obi said, "I was saddened to learn of President Tinubu's unfortunate fall today. I wish him well. We achieved nothing by gloating about an accident that could well happen to any of us. We are all human beings, and while we profoundly disagree on how to move Nigeria forward, we must remember our common human frailty. Let us stay focused on the issues that will lead to a new Nigeria. May this moment serve as a poignant reminder of our shared humanity and the need for compassion, empathy, and unity in our pursuit of a brighter future for our great nation." We had earlier reported that all may not be well health-wise with Nigeria President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as he fell down completely at a public event organized to mark this year 2024 Democracy Day celebration. A video posted online that captured the moment President Bola Ahmed Tinubu fell down before help could come his way showed the president enter the ceremonial vehicle position to enable him move around the Eagle Square Stadium to inspect and review the military and paramilitary parades lined up for the June 12th Democracy Day anniversary. It was observed that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu entered the vehicle completely, and while trying to stand up and wave to the crowd, he fell down completely inside the vehicle. He was quickly helped by the security operatives around him. Tinubu was billed to also unveil the world's largest painting portrait in Abuja after he arrived Eagle Square for the Democracy Day. Former Nigeria Vice President Atiku Abubakar has sympathized with the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Nigeria Armed Forces. Bola Ahmed Tinubu over what the former Vice President described as unfortunate incident that occurred on Wednesday morning at Eagle Square when the President entered the ceremonial vehicle to inspect and review the military and paramilitary parades lined up for the 2024 Democracy Day celebration. In his words, Atiku Abubakar, who was the People's Democratic Party (PDP) presidential candidate in the last generation elections in Nigeria, said, "I sincerely sympathize with President Bola Tinubu at official Ibadan over this unfortunate incident as he was set to review the parade on Democracy Day. I do hope that all is well with him. We had earlier reported that all may not be well health-wise with Nigeria President Bola Ahmed Tinubu as he fell down completely few minutes ago at a public event organized to mark this year 2024 Democracy Day celebration." A video posted online that captured the moment President Bola Ahmed Tinubu fell down before help could come his way showed the president enter the ceremonial vehicle position to enable him move around the Eagle Square Stadium to inspect and review the military and paramilitary parades lined up for the June 12th Democracy Day anniversary. It was observed that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu entered the vehicle completely, and while trying to stand up and wave to the crowd, he fell down completely inside the vehicle. He was quickly helped by the security operatives around him. Tinubu was billed to also unveil the world's largest painting portrait in Abuja after he arrives Eagle Square for the Democracy Day celebration. Atiku Abubakar, in earlier statements to commemorate this year's Democracy Day, said, "The secondary purpose of declaring every June 12th as Democracy Day in our country is to commemorate the history. All may not be well health-wise with Nigeria President Bola Ahmed Tinubu as he fell down completely few minutes ago at a public event organized to mark this year 2024 Democracy Day celebration." A video posted online that captured the moment President Bola Ahmed Tinubu fell down before help could come his way showed the president enter the ceremonial vehicle position to enable him move around the Eagle Square Stadium to inspect and review the military and paramilitary parades lined up for the June 12th Democracy Day anniversary. It was observed that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu entered the vehicle completely, and while trying to stand up and wave to the crowd, he fell down completely inside the vehicle. He was quickly helped by the security operatives around him. Tinubu was billed to also unveil the world's largest painting portrait in Abuja after he arrives Eagle Square for the Democracy Day celebration. It would be recalled that President Bola Tinubu had on Wednesday delivered the 2024 Democracy Day speech, addressing a variety of issues affecting the country. Excerpts of the speech reads below. My fellow Nigerians, let me begin by congratulating all of us for witnessing the celebration of another Democracy Day today, the 12th day of June 2024. This year also marks our nation's 25 years of uninterrupted democratic governance. On this day, 31 years ago, we entered our rites of passage to becoming a true and enduring democratic society. Going through this passage was hard and dangerous. During the fateful 6 years that followed, we fought and struggled for our natural rights as human beings put on this earth by the divine hand of our Creator. We lost great heroes and heroines along the way. In this struggle, the winner of the June 12, 1993 presidential election, Chief M.K. Former Nigeria President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan has called on all political actors, especially in Nigeria, to listen to the voices of their citizens. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan also recalled how 18 elders from northern Nigeria wrote a letter to the then military junta, General Sani Abacha, which the former head of state ignored. Former President Jonathan made the call while speaking as the chairman of the Democracy Day public lecture with the theme, 25 Years of Enduring Democracy, Prospect for the Future, at the Old Banquet Hall, Presidential Villa, Abuja, on Tuesday, June 11th. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan stated that previous democratic periods were cut short by military interventions, but the restoration of democracy in 1999 marked a new beginning. Jonathan said that the past 25 years of uninterrupted democracy in Nigeria marked a significant milestone despite facing challenges. According to him, Nigeria has seen economic growth, infrastructural development, advancements in arts and sports, and peaceful political transitions in the past 25 years. Excerpts, remarks by His Excellency Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, President Federal Republic of Nigeria, 2010-2015, at the 2024 Democracy Day Lecture. Theme, 25 Years of Enduring Democracy, The Prospect for the Future, Abuja, June 10, 2024. I am pleased to join you all at this very significant event. I thank the federal government for inviting me to chair the 2024 Democracy Day Anniversary Public Lecture, a momentous occasion to mark our nation's 25 years of uninterrupted democracy. 25 years ago on May 29, 1999, the Fourth Republic was birthed, and our nation embarked on a historic journey that will forever shape our country's future. Some youths in Ondo State took to the streets on Monday to protest and demand an end to the brutality allegedly committed by officials of the Nigeria Anti-Corruption Police, Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, following the anti-graft midnight raid in Akure, the Ondo State capital on Saturday, which led to the arrest of 127 persons suspected to be involved in internet fraud. The protesters held placards with inscriptions saying, "Stop EFCC brutality, enough is enough, free us," and hashtag FEC Nigeria free our people. EFCC operatives had stormed 2 nightclubs and arrested the 127 youths, including a man who was celebrating his bachelor's eve with his friends in one of the raided nightclubs. We had earlier on Sunday reported that the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, in a statement on Sunday evening has denied brutalizing ladies or assaulting any of the arrested 127 suspected internet fraudsters in Akure, Ondo State capital, on Saturday. EFCC in the statement also said that the manager of one of the nightclubs was also arrested and he has confessed to have directed the removal of CCTV. The statement reads in quote thus, "Arising from the misinformation and distortion of facts about the arrest of 127 suspected internet fraudsters by operatives of the Ibadan Zonal Command of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, on Saturday, June 8, 2024, it becomes imperative to clearly present the true facts of the operation. The operatives executed a classical sting operation at 2 clubs simultaneously in Akure based on credible intelligence, leading to the arrest of the suspected fraudsters. The operation, in line with the established ground norm for such engagement, was devoid of any incident, as the Gaza Health Ministry says that Israeli troops on Saturday killed over 274 Palestinians to rescue 4 of its hostages held by Hamas in Nuseirat refugee camp in central Gaza. Gaza Health Ministry in a statement on Sunday said nearly half of the people killed were women and children. It will be recalled that 4 Israeli hostages were freed from Hamas captivity early Saturday when Israeli military transport helicopter touched down and led a unit of IDF soldiers to ensure hostage rescue operation within the Nuseirat refugee camp in central Gaza. Israeli military said its forces came under heavy fire and responded during the complex daytime operation in central Gaza, adding that Hamas hid hostages within civilian populations. Nuseirat, a refugee camp built updating to the 1948 Arab-Israeli War, was considered by many observers as the largest rescue operation carried out by Israeli troops since October 7, 2023, when Hamas and other militants stormed across the border, killing about 1,200 people, mostly civilians, and taking about 250 hostage. On Monday, Gaza Ministry reported that Israel's massive retaliating offensives have killed over 37,000 Palestinians. The Health Ministry does not differentiate between civilians and combatants in its count. Gaza Health Ministry said on Sunday that 64 children and 57 women were killed in the latest raid, and 153 children and 161 women were among the nearly 700 wounded during the Israeli hostage rescue operations on Saturday. There have been celebrations across Israeli communities for the return of the 4 hostages, namely Noah Agamani, 26, Almog Najan, 22, Andrei Kozlov, 27, and Shlomi Ziv, 41. The Israeli bombing war. Men of the Nigerian army have thwarted the efforts of gunmen suspected to be kidnappers to abduct numbers of passengers in Delta State on Sunday. Nigerian army in a statement on Sunday said the passengers were kidnapped, but the act of bravery of its soldiers who engaged the kidnappers in gun battle led to the rescue of the commuters. The military statement reads in quote thus, "In a remarkable display of bravery, troops of the Nigerian army deployed for internal security duties successfully thwarted a kidnap attempt by a suspected terrorist group along the Ugeli-Patani road in Delta State." The troops' swift response to a distress call resulted in the rescue of passengers who had been kidnapped while traveling in a commercial bus. The troops, upon receiving the distress call, rapidly mobilized and confronted the terrorists, who were armed with assorted weapons. A fierce firefight ensued, compelling the terrorists to abandon their captives and flee the scene. The rescued passengers have been taken into safe custody, where they are receiving necessary care and support. Meanwhile, the troops are currently pursuing the fleeing terrorists. In another press release made annually by the Nigerian Army Authority, One Alesa X, Paramount Ruler of Alesa Eleme, His Royal Highness, Emeri Emperor Jenny NKPE2, JP, has stated that the Nigerian Army NA has remained resolute in ensuring peace and stability in the country. The Royal Father made this known when the General Officer Commanding GOC 6th Division, Nigerian Army, Major General Jamal Abdusalam paid him homage at his palace. The Royal Father further said that the security men, especially troops of 6th Division, are the reason criminality does not thrive in the ancient kingdom of Alesa Eleme. He added that troops sacrifice a lot to ensure the people of Alesa. Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, in a statement on Sunday evening has denied brutalizing ladies or assaulting any of the arrested 127 suspected internet fraudsters in Akure, Ondo State capital, on Saturday. EFCC in the statement also said that the manager of one of the nightclubs was also arrested and he has confessed to have directed the removal of CCTV. The statement reads in quote thus, arising from the misinformation and distortion of facts about the arrest of 127 suspected internet fraudsters by operatives of the Ibadan Zonal Command of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, on Saturday, June 8, 2024, it becomes imperative to clearly present the true facts of the operation. The operatives executed a classical sting operation at 2 clubs simultaneously in Akure based on credible intelligence, leading to the arrest of the suspected fraudsters. The operation, in line with the established ground norm for such engagement, was devoid of any incident as the operatives conducted themselves professionally. It was therefore shocking to be confronted with narratives particularly from the social media about brutalization, including a trending video of 2 ladies showing bodies lacerated by whips. The Commission wants the public to discountenance this video as it may have been stage managed to achieve motives that are unclear. The Commission will subject this video to forensic analysis to establish its falsehood and prepare a case against purveyors of this distasteful stunt. The Commission wishes to state that no suspect was assaulted, brutalized or subjected to any dehumanizing treatment during the Saturday operation. It is also false that tear gas was fired at the crime scene. Those familiar with the Commission's operations know that EFCC personnel do not use tear gas during sting operation. Simon Ekpa, the Prime Minister of Biafra government in exile, has said that the 6 people that were killed according to the Nigerian Army Authority at Igboro Forest in Arochukwu local government area of Abia State on Saturday were unarmed and out of greed. They were people who refused to join the Biafra Liberation Army and the Biafra Resistance Fighters, the 2 military wings of the defense headquarters of Biafra Liberation Forces who claimed responsibility for the killing of the 5 soldiers at the military checkpoint in Obikabia Junction of Aba area of Abia State on May 30, 2024. Simon Ekpa said the Nigerian army are using not well-equipped armed gang members who out of greed refused to join the Biafra Liberation Forces to shine. You neutralized 6 people and recovered then gun they used to fire at you. I am waiting the day you will make any post about Biafra Liberation Army or Biafra Resistance Fighters. You go to people that are unarmed, using then gun and not well-equipped. Out of their greed, they refuse to join forces with Biafra Defense Force and you are using them to shine. You remain a terrorist organization Nigerian Army. These people has nothing to do with Biafra forces. They are called BNG, or did you not see their name? Simon Ekpa's statement ends in quote. We had reported that the Nigerian Army says, following the killing of 5 soldiers at Obikabia Junction military checkpoint in Abia State on May 30th during the sit-at-home order declared by indigenous people of Biafra, I hope to mark this year 2024 Biafra Heroes Remembrance Day. Troops of the Nigerian Army on Saturday invaded camp of the Biafra secessionist armed group at Igboro Forest in Arochukwu local government area of Abia State and killed over 6 Biafra fighters during gun battle. Nigerian Army Authority disclosed this in a news release made available on Sunday which was later accompanied with a video record of the camp. The Army Authority said, in order to apprehend the Nigerian Army says, following the killing of 5 soldiers at Obikabia Junction military checkpoint in Abia State on May 30th during the sit-at-home order declared by indigenous people of Biafra, I hope to mark this year 2024 Biafra Heroes Remembrance Day. Troops of the Nigerian Army on Saturday invaded camp of the Biafra secessionist armed group at Igboro Forest in Arochukwu local government area of Abia State and killed over 6 Biafra fighters during gun battle. Nigerian Army Authority disclosed this in a news release made available on Sunday which was later accompanied with a video record of the camp. The Army Authority said, in order to apprehend the perpetrators of the attack on home troops, 3 out of those killed are from the southeast, and by last week as well as to recover arms and ammunition from the indigenous people of Biafra and its affiliate Eastern Security Network, IPOB, ESN terrorist group. Troops of Operation Mondoka conducted another successful clearance, raid operations to the IPOB ESN camp in the Igboro Forest in Arochukwu local government area of Abia State yesterday. During the intelligence-led operation, troops encountered improvised explosive devices along its axis of advance and 1 soldier sustained minor injury from the fragment. The terrorists' civil firefight were adequately subdued with superior firepower that led to the neutralization of 6 members of the criminal terrorist group while others escaped into adjoining bushes with varying degrees of gunshot wounds as bloodstains were seen along their escape routes. The gallant troops recovered 3 locally fabricated rocket-propelled grenade launchers, 2 locally fabricated artillery gun with tripod and its bombs. Other items recovered include main guns, Biafran flags, as well as Toyota Tundra and Hilux vehicles that were burnt in situ. Also all of their camps with different inscriptions were destroyed. The Joint Task Force Operation Bunduka is calling on the good people. Gunmen suspected to be bandits have abducted the presiding priest of St. Thomas Parish, Zeman Damo community, in the Zango Kataf local government area of Kaduna State, Reverend Father Gabriel Uke. According to Punch newspaper, the parish priest was said to have been abducted at the parish rectory in the early hours of Sunday. The Vicar General, Pastoral, Reverend Father Emmanuel Kaza, was said to have disclosed this on Sunday in a press statement. He said, while we solicit for fervent prayers for his urgent and safe release, we equally condemn this act of incessant kidnappings for ransom of innocent and defenseless citizens of our communities, and we call upon the government to hone its security intelligence as we approach the celebration of Salah. Meanwhile, Nigerian Army Authority has issued a statement few minutes ago that troops of the Nigerian Army deployed for counter-terrorism operations across the country have achieved major successes in the ongoing fight against terrorism and insurgency in Kaduna, Zamfara and Abia states, demonstrating their unwavering commitment to national security and the safety of citizens. In Kaduna State, troops in a decisive operation conducted a 2-day fighting patrol to Kajuru and Kacha local government areas, during which they engaged and neutralized 5 terrorists in a fierce combat at Dantara. After defeating the terrorists, the gallant troops recovered a cache of arms, including 2 AK-47 rifles, 1 fabricated submachine gun SMG, 9 AK-47 magazines, 250 rounds of 7.62mm special ammunition, 2 motorcycles, and 2 handheld radios. This victory significantly disrupted terrorist activities along the Maro-Enugu community axis, bolstering security in the general area. Relatedly, in Zamfara State, operatives of Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, have raided 2 nightclubs early morning night on Saturday where a pre-marriage party was said to be holding in Akure, the Ondo State capital in the western part of Nigeria. Videos and statements made online by onlookers showed that the operatives rounded up the 2 nightclubs in a commando style and started beating and tear-gassing everybody, including the security operatives at the venues, to hold everyone to freeze to enable them identify and arrest suspected internet fraudsters. The party that was ongoing in the nightclubs, which the FCC official described as Yahoo Party, was said to be one of the lined-up marriage ceremonies by one of the suspected internet fraudsters arrested and said to be the groom to be waiting to be officially pronounced as married man by a pastor at a church on Saturday where the church marriage is slated to take place. The onlookers said both military and police personnel were beaten and tear-gassed and forced to obey freeze order by the EFCC commander, and they were subsequently separated and the 127 male internet suspected fraudsters arrested. Punch newspaper also reported that the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission conducted a raid on 2 nightclubs in Akure, Ondo State, arresting 127 individuals suspected of internet fraud. The operation, which took place on June 8, 2024, also resulted in the seizure of various items, including cars, laptops, and phones. One of the eyewitnesses present at one of the nightclubs raided told newsmen that they entered the nightclubs and lounges, tear-gassing people, beating them up and arresting them. They don't care who you are. Many people, including security personnel, were injured as they shot tear gas canisters inside one of the clubs. They also went away with a groom and his friends at the club. He was there for his President Volodymyr Zelensky of Ukraine has said that the troubled country that has been in war with Russia since February 24, 2022 now has new decisions reached with France and United States of America, USA, about the Ukrainian defense. Zelensky, who issued both text and video press release few minutes ago, said that the new decisions were reached in Paris during the week when some world leaders gathered to mark this year in the international ceremony marking the 80th anniversary of the Normandy landings during World War II in France. Details of the press release and other press statements, including the speech President Volodymyr Zelensky gave while addressing French Parliament during the week in Paris, reads verbatim below. As a result of negotiations and meetings in France, we now have new decisions from France and the United States regarding Ukrainian defense. I thank our friends. There is progress in artillery, including the manufacture of 155 caliber artillery ammunition in Ukraine. A new production platform is being prepared. We will also have greater combat aviation and electronic warfare capabilities. I am grateful to France and President Macron for taking the initiative and supporting our proposals for soldier training and brigade provision. Together, we are laying a new, systemic foundation for the training of Ukrainian army units. We maintain active communication with all of our partners at all levels. The first peace summit will take place in just a week. There will also be important meetings and talks with European leaders to strengthen our resilience and protection against Russian terror. We have already reached agreements with partners on additional air defense systems for Ukraine. Some will come to fruition sooner, while others will materialize closer to the autumn. I am grateful to every leader and state that practically supports us. Some workers of Samsung Electronics Company, one of the world's largest producers of smartphones and other technology devices, on Friday staged a protest to demand increment in performance-based bonus payment and additional day to the company workers paid annual leave. Many considered the strike action by the workers as historical on the ground that the founder of Samsung, Lee Byung-chul, who died in 1987, was strictly opposed to the formation of unions, saying he would never allow them until I have dirt over my eyes. It may be recalled that Samsung Electronics had its first workers' union formed in the late 2010. Reuters reported that 8 members of the Samsung Electronics Union staged the protest in South Korea on Friday. An AFP report indicated that the total numbers of the workers' union that staged the protests at the company headquarters were 10 in numbers. Details of the strike action, as reported by AFP International News Agency and as well as its recaptured by Punch newspaper, reads verbatim below. Workers at tech giant Samsung Electronics in South Korea staged the first strike at the company on Friday, the head of a major union representing tens of thousands of people said. Samsung Electronics is one of the world's largest smartphone makers and also one of the only companies globally to produce high-end memory chips used for generative AI, including top-of-the-line artificial intelligence hardware from industry leaders such as NVIDIA. Management at the firm, the world's biggest producer of memory chips, has been locked in negotiations with the union over wages and benefits since January, but the two sides have failed to narrow their differences. Lee Ian-Cook, Vice President of the National Samsung Electronics Union, said Friday's collective action was largely symbolic, but it's a beginning. We have plans for follow-up strikes if the management. Two trains with one of them filled over 380 passengers and another with several containers of goods crashed on Wednesday night in Czech Republic, killing 4 persons and 27 others injured. The crash, according to reports, occurred on Wednesday night in Pardubice, about 62 miles east of Prague. The train carrying 380 passengers was said to be heading towards Kosice in eastern Slovakia and to proceed to Chok in Ukraine. The reports indicated that the passenger train crashed into the freight train in the city of Pardubice. The passenger train has also gathered collided head-on with the freight train in the Czech Republic, killing at least 4 people and injuring 27 others, according to officials who made this known on Thursday. Czech Republic Interior Minister Vít Rakušan said the crash took place late Wednesday night in the city of Pardubice, about 62 miles east of Prague. The high-speed passenger train belonged to the private Regionjet company, according to the government official. Rakušan said none of the injured was in life-threatening condition. A head-on collision between a Regionjet train and a freight train claimed several lives and left dozens injured. Martin Netolický, governor of the Pardubice region, said on Facebook. Firefighters, paramedics, doctors, and at least one rescue helicopter were seen deployed to the scene of the accident, about 100 kilometers east of Prague, the city capital. The country's Prime Minister, Petr Fiala, expressed his sincere condolences to all the bereaved in a post on the social media platform X. According to the New York Times, the fast train, operated by Regionjet, was traveling overnight from Prague to Kosice in eastern Slovakia, the railway administration said. Many of the passengers were foreigners. Czech TV. Nigeria President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has sent a congratulatory message to the Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, on the victory of his re-election for the third time and second person in the history of India to be re-elected thrice. The India election, which came to an end on Tuesday after the electoral body counted more than 640 million votes in what many observers considered as the world's largest election and voters' turnouts. Modi and his Bharatiya Janata Party, BJP, won a rare third term with a majority seats of 240 in the Parliamentary Assembly. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, in a statement signed by his spokesperson, Ajri Ngilale, said the outcome of the India election is a reflection of the Prime Minister, Narendra Modi's exceptional leadership in the country. The statement reads in quote thus, President Bola Tinubu extends his warm congratulations to the Prime Minister of India, His Excellency, Narendra Modi, on his epoch-making victory in the nation's parliamentary elections. Prime Minister Modi's coalition, the National Democratic Alliance, won a majority of the parliamentary seats, paving the way for a third consecutive term, which is a rare feat and the second time an Indian leader will retain power for a third term after Jawaharlal Nehru, India's first Prime Minister. The President states that the outcome of the elections is a resounding affirmation of Prime Minister Modi's exceptional leadership of the world's largest democracy. On behalf of the government and people of Nigeria, President Tinubu congratulates the people of India and assures the South Asian nation of Nigeria's commitment to strengthening relations and advancing shared goals and values as strategic partners in the League of Nations. Al Jazeera had reported earlier on Tuesday that India's Hindu nationalist Prime Minister Narendra Modi claimed election victory for his party and its Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has sealed off the Tongi Group of Company, a mining and construction company, over alleged breach of Nigeria anti-money laundering and terrorism laws. EFCC, in a statement on Tuesday, said the company fails to cooperate with his special team assigned to checkmate against terrorism financing and money laundering. The statement and other news releases from EFCC on Tuesday read verbatim below. SCUML sues Tongi Group for alleged non-compliance with anti-money laundering laws. The Special Control Unit Against Money Laundering, SCUML of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, on Tuesday, June 4, 2024, sealed up Tongi Group, located in Ebitu Ukiwe Street, Jabi, Abuja, for alleged non-compliance with anti-money laundering, combating financing of terrorism, AML-CFT regulations. Officers of SCUML shut down the construction and mining entity after it paid no heed to a series of the unit's attempts to be compliant with AML-CFT regime. By SCUML's regulations, the seal of non-compliance and closure pasted on the business premises would remain in force until the company embraces full compliance with Nigeria's anti-money laundering and terrorist financing laws. By shutting down the company, SCUM warned members of the public to be wary of carrying out business transactions with it. Tongi Group allegedly violated Nigeria's Money Laundering Protection and Prohibition Act 2022 as well as the Terrorism Protection and Prohibition Act 2022, all of which are under the AML-CFT regime, by refusing to sign SCUML's checklist and to send statutory reports to the unit, which form parts of Major's SCUML put in place to mitigate money. Nigeria Labour Congress, NLC, has announced temporary end to the nationwide strike it started on Monday. NLC in a tweet few minutes ago said the strike is only called off for 1 week to allow the conclusion of the agreements it has reached with the federal government. Strike action relaxed for 1 week to allow the conclusion of negotiation. Details shortly, NLC tweeted. We had reported that Nigerian workers' unions under the umbrella body of Trade Union Congress, TUC, and Nigeria Labour Congress, NLC, has issued another statement on Tuesday morning indicating that the organized union has not called off strike it embarked on Monday to protest and demand the federal government of Nigeria to honor their request of 494,000 naira minimum wage to be received by the least paid workers in the country following the government's increased electricity tariffs and the current extreme rising high cost of living in the country. But information gathered indicated that the leadership of the Trade Union Congress, TUC, and the Nigeria Labour Congress, NLC, has resolved to relax the nationwide strike after the outcome of the convened Joint Extraordinary National Executive Council in Abuja. NLC, in a tweet on Tuesday morning, stated that, until we hear from our organs at our meeting scheduled for today the 4th of June, we are still on strike. NLC had raised alarm of attempted intimidation by soldiers while the workers' unions were having an emergency meeting at the Secretary to Government of Federation office on Monday night. NLC had tweeted thus, soldiers are presently surrounding the venue of the meeting between Labour and government at the premises of the SGF. In a swift reaction, Nigerian Army Authority refuted the claims made by the NLC and stated in quote thus, the attention of Army headquarters has been drawn to a false breaking news by NLC alleging that soldiers currently surround the venue of Nigeria Workers' Unions under the umbrella body of Trade Union Congress, TUC, and Nigeria Labour Congress. NLC has issued another statement on Tuesday morning indicating that the organized union has not called off strike it embarked on Monday to protest and demand the federal government of Nigeria to honor their request of 494,000 naira minimum wage to be received by the least paid workers in the country following the government's increased electricity tariffs and the current extreme rising high cost of living in the country. But information gathered indicated that the leadership of the Trade Union Congress, TUC, and the Nigeria Labour Congress, NLC, has resolved to relax the nationwide strike after the outcome of the convened Joint Extraordinary National Executive Council in Abuja. NLC, in a tweet on Tuesday morning, stated that, until we hear from our organs at our meeting scheduled for today the 4th of June, we are still on strike. NLC had raised alarm of attempted intimidation by soldiers while the workers' unions were having an emergency meeting at the Secretary to Government of Federation office on Monday night. NLC had tweeted thus, soldiers are presently surrounding the venue of the meeting between Labour and government at the premises of the SGF. In a swift reaction, Nigerian Army Authority refuted the claims made by the NLC and stated in quote thus, the attention of Army headquarters has been drawn to a false breaking news by NLC alleging that soldiers currently surround the venue of the ongoing meeting between NLC and the SGF. Kindly note that the NSA, Malam Nuhu Ribadu, who is also attending the meeting, arrived at the meeting venue with his retinue of statutorily approved military escorts. Once the meeting is over, the escorts will leave the NSA from the venue. Kindly disregard the deliberate and misleading falsehood being peddled about the presence of Nigeria President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has described the sit-at-home order and enforcement experienced in the country's southeastern states as an act to intimidate the people and overthrow the government of Nigeria. Hence, he ordered the military and other security operatives to treat any act of sit-at-home enforcement as a treasonable offense. It will be recalled that the recent kind of sit-at-home observed in the southeastern states of the country began on August 9, 2021 as a form of protest to demand the immediate and unconditional release of the detained leader of IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, shortly after he was rearrested in Kenya and the federal government failed to produce him in court on August 9, 2021 as expected by many people in the southeastern geopolitical zone of the country. Hundreds if not thousands of people including security operatives, non-state actors often referred to as unknown gunmen and innocent civilians have been killed with properties worth billions of naira destroyed since the sit-at-home began nearly 3 years ago. Bola Ahmed Tinubu gave the order to the military on Saturday in a statement he personally signed and made available by Nigeria State Television, NTA, while reacting to the killing of 5 soldiers at Obikabian Junction military checkpoint in our area of Abia State last Thursday by unknown gunmen who appeared to be enforcing the Biafra Heroes Day sit-at-home ordered by the leadership of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB. Tinubu gave the order same day the Abia State Governor, Alex Otti, visited the wives of the 5 soldiers killed by the unknown gunmen. Alex Otti paid a state condolence visit to the wives of the 5 soldiers and met them at 144 Battalion Military Base in Asa, Ukwa West Local Government Area of Abia State, and he was received on arrival by the commander of 14th Brigade, Ohafia, Nigeria Army, Brigadier General O.O.Dia. The governor, Alex Otti, said, today, I visited the families of convicted former United States of America President. Donald Trump has said that he's just a political prisoner in a failing nation governed by President Joe Biden. This, as President Joe Biden said that it's irresponsible for anyone to criticize the New York court verdict that found Donald Trump guilty in all 34 count charges of falsifying business records in the hush money case against him. The two top citizens of America exchanged words in different press conferences held on Friday to react to the Thursday court verdict against the former president. In what looked like a rambling remarks earlier on Friday at the Trump Tower lobby in Manhattan, Trump repeated his complaints that the trial was an attempt to humble his White House combat bid and said it showed that no American was safe from politically motivated prosecution. If they can do this to me, they can do this to anyone, Trump said in an unscripted 33-minute speech as reported by Reuters and other news agencies. Close watchers said that the Thursday's guilty verdict handed over by Manhattan court against the former president catapults the United States into unexplored territory ahead of the November 5th election in which Trump, 77, will try to win back the White House from Biden, 81. On Friday, Biden was asked by a reporter if he was worried that he could find himself in the same situation someday. The 81-year-old American president said, "Not at all. I didn't do anything wrong. The system still works," he said, adding that he had no idea whether the conviction would help Trump in the 2024 election when the two faced a rematch. It will be recalled that a Manhattan jury found Donald Trump guilty of all 34 counts of falsifying business records in his hush money criminal trial, an unprecedented and historic verdict that makes him the first former president in U.S. history to be convicted of. Men of the Armed Forces of Nigeria, AFN, have begun mass arrest of people in Aba area of Abia State following the killing of 5 soldiers by unknown gunmen on Thursday at Obikabia Junction military checkpoint during the Biafra Heroes Day sit-at-home declared by the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB. Different videos posted online by residents on Friday showed people running helter-skelter apparently from military men who were patrolling the area in search of the unknown gunmen behind the soldiers' killing. One of the videos showed a group of people scampered for safety, some of them carrying a young man shot or who have sustained bullet wound. Another video showed large numbers of people being commanded into military trucks by men of the Nigerian army. A voice at the background of the video said the people were arrested by soldiers who allegedly broke into their houses following the killing of 5 military personnel around the area on Thursday by unknown gunmen. In another video, some soldiers were seen to have broken the gate of a fence to penetrate and gain access to some suspects. Nigerian doctors through their ex-social media handle have called on the Minister of Health to help ensure the release of a 15-year-old boy reportedly arrested at his home on Friday by men of the Nigerian Army at Obikabia area in Aba following the killing of the 5 soldiers by unknown gunmen. The health practitioners stated in court thus, they are Dr. Muhammad Ali Pate at Muhammad Pate, Minister of Health of the Federal Republic of Nigeria at For Nigeria. Nigerian doctors received with great anxiety and sadness the news that Dr. Rose Ahu's 15-year-old brother and young sister were abducted by Nigerian soldiers when they broke into their home, close to Obikabia Junction, Aba, Abia State. Dr. Rose Ahu is distressed and cannot serve the Nigerian people in this state. Nigerian Defense Headquarters has issued a statement and the confirmation of the killing of 5 soldiers by unknown gunmen at Obikabia Junction in Aba, the commercial city of Abia State on Thursday during the Biafra Heroes Remembrance Day sit-at-home declared by the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB. According to the Nigerian military headquarters, the unknown gunmen are members of IPOB and its armed affiliate, Eastern Security Network, ESN terrorists. The statement signed by the Defense Director of Media Operations, Major General Edward Buba, and made public on Friday, indicated that the soldiers were killed after the unknown gunmen took them by surprise. Details of the Defense Headquarters statement are presented verbatim below. Troops of Operations Oluka deployed at Obikabia Junction checkpoint in Obingwa local government areas adjoining Aba metropolis in Abia State were attacked and sadly killed by terrorists of IPOB, ESN. The troops deployed to enforce peace in the area and protect the citizens were massively attacked by the terrorists. The terrorists in 3 tinted Prado Toyota SUVs and others from built-up areas surrounding the checkpoint sprung a surprise attack on the checkpoint. The attack sadly took the lives of 5 personnel of the armed forces killed in action. The armed forces mourns the death of these troops as each and every soldier lost in battle is a terrible loss. Meanwhile, investigations are ongoing concerning the attack. Overall, it must be reiterated that the lifeline of the terrorists is the people and this situation is no exemption. Winning the war without the support of the people is close to impossible. The IPOB capitalized on this to perpetrate attacks on the troops. The situation leaves more to be desired. Accordingly, it is absolutely imperative that the military retaliate against this dastardly act against troops. The military will be fierce in its Office of Nigeria Inspector General of Police, IGP, has said that over 31,932 people have arrested for different crimes in the country since President Bola Ahmed Tinubu came into power 1 year ago. The IGP in a statement on Wednesday claimed that the Nigeria police force has made significant progress in crime reduction over the year under review. The IGP through the force spokesperson, Olumiwa Adejobi, said that one of the major achievements of the force in the year under review was the arrest of 2 suspects who hail from Zamfara state that have been kidnapping people in Benin and Okene. The statement reads in quote thus: as the nation marks the first-year anniversary of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration, the Nigeria Police Force has spared no effort in ensuring that crimes and criminality is reduced to its barest, and this has led to salient and significant progress in the fight against all forms of crimes in the country, as the police has intensified its operations and made remarkable strides in ensuring the safety and security of all Nigerians. In the past 1 year, the police has successfully apprehended 4,826 armed robbery suspects, 3,078 kidnapping suspects, 2,479 suspects for rape, sexual crimes, 1,243 suspects for unlawful possession of firearms, 3,523 suspects for cultism, 3,381 suspects for murder, homicide, 13,402 suspects for other offenses. Our operations has also led to the rescue of 1,750 kidnapped victims, the recovery of a significant cache of illegal items, including 2,566 firearms, 19,510 rounds of ammunition, and 1,475 vehicles, motorcycles. Unknown gunmen in large numbers on Thursday morning attacked a military checkpoint at Obikabia Junction in Aba, a commercial city in Abia State. Some residents who posted on the spot recorded videos online said almost all the soldiers at the checkpoint were killed and the vehicle of the military personnel was seen in the video set ablaze. Another video from residents showed one of the soldiers who was said to be the only one that escaped the attack. The voice at the background of the video said the surviving soldier was the only who ran away or quickly took cover. Immediately the unknown gunmen launched the attack. More soldiers appeared to have been deployed to the area as military vehicles loaded with military personnel were seen in a video moving towards the Obikabia Junction for reinforcement, as sounds of heavy gunshots could be heard in the video. Meanwhile, Governor Peter Imba-led Enugu State government has condemned what he described as an attempt to scuttle the Senior Secondary School Certificate Examination (SSCE) in the state on Thursday, May 30, 2024. This as IPOB had warned the management of Nnamdi Azikiwe University, UNIZIK, in Anambra State against holding its convocation ceremony on May 30th. It said the day had been selected for Biafra Remembrance Day to honor Biafra fallen heroes and heroines. It was reported that the school later rescheduled its convocation earlier billed to be held on May 30th. The institution subsequently changed the May 30th and 31 dates for its 18th convocation and award of degrees to its graduates and postgraduates. Enugu government, in a statement issued by the Commissioner for Information, aka said the consequences of candidates of the state and the entire Southeast region not sitting for their general mathematics papers were massive and held nothing but a threat to the future, contrary to what their forebears fought for. However, urged men of the Nigeria Police Force have shot one of the 4 suspected armed groups said to be regrouping to enforce the sit at home to mark the 2024 Biafra Heroes Remembrance Day. SP Tochukwu Ikenga, in a statement on Wednesday, said one of the 4 armed gang was demobilized along the New River Niger Bridge by Oba Flyover in the Idemili south of Onitsha Market area in Anambra State, with 3 other gang members escaping with bullets wound. It would be recalled that the indigenous people of Biafra has insisted that the May 30th sit at home remains sacrosanct across the southeast and that every resident in the zone should stay at home in commemoration of Biafra Heroes Day. Early photographs made available few minutes ago indicated that some group of people suspected to be members of unknown gunmen gang acting as Biafra secessionist armed group have begun the Biafra Heroes Day Remembrance commemoration with a candlelight at their various camps as early morning night of Thursday. The photographs are part of the attached photos added to the feature image of this story. According to SP Tochukwu Ikenga, following the intel gathered, the operatives today the 29th of May 2024 by 2 p.m. led ambush on the miscreants along Oba Flyover, Idemili South, intercepted a gang of 4 armed men operating on motorbikes and demobilized one of the miscreants while the other 3 escaped the scene with bullet injuries. The operatives recovered a locally made Barretta pistol, 4 expanded cartridges, 2 phones, and some signals, initials showing unpatriotism and disloyalty to the Nigerian government. Preliminary information shows the armed men were regrouping to enforce illegal sit at home tomorrow the 30th of May 2024. Meanwhile, the operatives are on the trail of the 3 armed men who escaped the scene. To this end, the CP charges the operatives to sustain the tempo of the onslaught against the criminal. Federal and state high courts in Kano State may be seen as the current battlefield where the supporters of the newly reinstalled Emir, His Royal Highness Muhammad Sanusi II and the deposed 15th Emir, His Royal Highness Aminu Ado Bayero are slugging it out. The Federal High Court in Kano, presided over by Justice S.A. Amobeda, on Tuesday ordered the eviction of Emir Muhammadu Sanusi II from the Kofa Kudu Palace and asked the security operatives to return the 15th Emir of Kano, Aminu Ado Bayero, back to the palace. An order of interim injunction restraining the respondents from inviting, arresting, detaining, threatening, intimidating, harassing the applicant, or infringing on his rights is hereby granted, stated Justice Amobeda. The court wrote that, this order ensures that Emir Aminu Bayero enjoys all rights and privileges accrued to him by virtue of his position. This followed after Kano State High Court, under the jurisdiction of Justice Amina Adamu Aliyu, on Monday ordered the arrest of Emir Ado Bayero. State High Court also ordered security operatives to ensure the protection of Emir Muhammadu Sanusi II and restrain the state government from harassing the newly reinstalled Emir. The order of the State High Court prevents any interference with the area's autonomy and the seizure of key symbols of his authority, such as the Twin Spear, the Royal Heart of Dabo, and the ostrich feathered shoes, according to Channels Television. Justice Aliyu emphasized, an order of interim injunction is granted restraining the respondents from harassing or intimidating the applicants or confiscating any symbols of the area's authority. She further added, the respondents are ordered to maintain the status quo pending the hearing and determination of the motion on notice. The State High Court's case is set for further hearing on June 13th, while the Federal High Court has adjourned. Nigeria Police Force has confirmed that a locally made gun was recovered on Monday morning from a group of Okada riders who attacked a police station in Lagos State. According to the spokesperson of the Lagos State Police Command, Benjamin Hundeyin, many of the attackers, of whom are motorcycle riders often referred to as Okada riders, were arrested, with 2 of the attackers seriously injured. It was gathered that over 100 of the attackers invaded the Ipaja police station in Lagos State, Nigeria, resulting to heavy gun shooting by men of the Nigeria Police Force after the security operatives cracked down on Okada riders and impounded their motorcycles. It will be recalled that on May 18, 2022, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu announced ban on motorcycles during a meeting with police chiefs in the state, saying it is total and indefinite. The affected local councils are Ikeja, Surulere, Eti-Osa, Lagos Mainland, Lagos Island, and Apapa. After a critical review of our restriction on Okada activities in the first 6 local government areas where we restricted them on February 1, 2020, we have seen that the menace has not abated. We are now directing a total ban on Okada activities across the highways and bridges within these 6 local government and their local council development areas, effective from June 1, 2022, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu stated in court in a statement issued after the ban on Okada activities in 2022. The Lagos State Police Command in a statement few hours ago stated that 2 individuals were fatally injured and some others arrested during an attack by motorcycle riders on its Ipaja division on Monday. Benjamin Hundeyin said that the attack stemmed from the enforcement of the existing ban on motorcycles in the state, saying over 200 motorcycles were impounded and 1 locally made firearm retrieved from the attackers. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, and the Inspector General of Police, IGP, has mourned, have sent words of condolence to the family of Ibrahim Lamode, former EFCC chairman who died at the age of 61 in Egypt on Sunday. Premium Times had reported while citing a clause that Lamode died on Sunday in Egypt, where he had traveled for medical treatment. Born on December 20, 1962, Lamode joined the Nigerian police in 1986 and retired as a Deputy Inspector General of Police in 2021. As a police officer, he served as the chairman of the EFCC between 2011 and 2015, and as the EFCC chairman, Ibrahim Lamode was sacked in November 2015 and was replaced by Ibrahim Magu, who took over immediately in acting capacity. Then President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan appointed him in an acting capacity as chairman of the commission on November 3, 2011, following the removal of Farida Waziri. Senate of the Nigerian National Assembly subsequently confirmed him as the third substantive chairman of the commission on February 15, 2012. President Bola Tinubu, in a statement signed and made available by the spokesperson for the president, Ajuri Ngelale, said he prayed God Almighty comfort the bereaved family. President Bola Tinubu condoles with the family of Mr. Ibrahim Lamode, who has passed away at the age of 61. The retired Deputy Inspector General of Police was the pioneer Director of Operations and third substantive chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, from 2012 to 2015. The President also commiserates with the associates of the former anti-graft SAR, the EFCC, the Nigeria Police Force, as well as the government and people of Adamawa State. President, a number of worshippers were on Sunday afternoon trapped under the rubble when a mosque located at Mushin area of Lagos collapsed. The number of casualties is yet to be ascertained, but several media had reported that many of the Muslim worshippers were feared dead. The mosque, which killed on Sunday afternoon, is located Yusuf Street, Papa Ajao, Mushin. It was gathered that a corpse of an 11-year-old girl has been recovered by emergency responders at the scene of the mosque that collapsed in the Papa Ajao area of Lagos State on Sunday. The State Police Public Relations Officer, Benjamin Hundeyin, reportedly said, the rescue operation is ongoing, but as I speak with you, the corpse of an 11-year-old girl has been recovered. The operation is still ongoing. While some people escaped from the incident, others, who were unlucky, got trapped under the rubble, according to eyewitnesses. Toyin Fainka, member, Mushin Federal Constituency 2, who visited the scene of the incident, stated the worshippers were observing to a prayer when the mosque collapsed. Earlier today, I visited the scene of the collapsed mosque in the Papa Ajao area of Mushin, Lagos State. The mosque located on Yusuf Street, off Ladipo Road, Papa Ajao, collapsed during the Zuhr prayer time. My condolences to the family members of the deceased and victims of the disaster. This is indeed a very sad and unfortunate incident. It is my prayer that the soul of the deceased will rest in peace, and that the injured will experience quick recovery. We are thankful to the first responders that were immediately deployed to bring out as many survivors as possible. Let me also commend residents who joined in the rescue efforts. Toyin Fainka's statement ends in quote. Nigeria Police Force has vowed to enforce the order of the Federal High Court sitting in Kano State that asked the governor of the state, Abbas Yusuf, not to reinstate or enforce the newly signed law that paved way for the 15th Emir of Kano, Aminu Ado Bayero, to be dethroned, and the 14th Emir and former Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN Governor Sanusi Lamido Sanusi, to be reinstalled as the 16th Emir of Kano, Emirate, pending the determination of the suit brought before it. Kano State Commissioner of Police, Mohammed Hosseini Goman, while presenting the joint security press briefing at the Bombai Police Command headquarters in Kano on Saturday morning, said that the court order will be obeyed in line with all laws that govern the state. The CP stated in quote as presented below, "You are all welcome to Bombai, the headquarters of Kano State Police Command. We are gathered here to intimate you on the security situation, and in particular the developments surrounding the chieftaincy affairs of the state. The police command is expressly obeying the court order with SUIT number FHC per kilonewton CS 182/2024 dated the 23rd of May 2024, issued by the Federal High Court sitting in Kano alongside all law enforcement agents in the state. Therefore, we are calling on members of the public to know that the police in the state is working together with the military and other security agencies and are with full capacity for providing the adequate security to everyone, as we are committed to carrying out our statutory duties as provided by the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria." No doubt, the law-abiding people of Kano State are known for a revered cultural heritage and respect for constituted authorities, and in this regard, advised to remain calm, patient, and to keep cooperating with security agencies as the matter described will be addressed by the court on the 3rd of June 2024. In what looked like a smart move in order not to be outsmarted by the dethroned Emir of Kano, Aminu Ado Bayero, the Kano State Governor, Abbas Yusuf led other top government officials in the state, including the Speaker of the Kano State House of Assembly, to escort the reinstated and reinstalled Emir of Kano, His Royal Highness Muhammad Sanusi II, to take over the Emirate Palace at midnight around 1 a.m. Self-recorded video posted online showed the reinstated Emir arrived the Emir of Kano Palace in company of the top government officials at midnight. Some minutes ago, we reported that there is tension in Kano State over the reinstatement and reinstallment of former Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN Governor, just as the state governor, Abba Yusuf, has ordered the arrest of the deposed Emir of Kano, Aminu Ado Bayero, who reportedly returned to Kano early morning night on Saturday. It will be recalled that Ado Bayero was dethroned alongside the Emirs of Karaye, Rano Bichi and Gaya, whose emirates have been scrapped. According to Premium Times, the governor's spokesperson, Sanusi Batio, said the deposed Emir was smuggled back to Kano with alleged intention to cause mayhem as the reinstated Emir Lamido Sanusi entered the palace. The former Emir was smuggled into Kano City last night in an attempt to forcefully return to the palace 2 days after being deposed by the governor. The new Emir, Sanusi Lamido Sanusi, arrived at the Emir's palace in the company of the governor, the deputy governor, the Speaker of the State Assembly, and other top government functionaries at about 1 a.m. on Saturday the 25th of May 2024. As the Chief Security Officer of the state, His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Kano State, Alhaji Abakabi Yusuf, has directed the Commissioner of Police to arrest the deposed Emir with immediate effect for disturbing public peace, and there is tension in Kano State over the reinstatement and reinstallment of former Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, just as the State Governor, Abba Yusuf, has ordered the arrest of the deposed Emir of Kano, Aminu Ado Bayero, who reportedly returned to Kano early morning night on Saturday. It will be recalled that Ado Bayero was dethroned alongside the Emirs of Karaye, Rano Bichi and Gaya, whose emirates have been scrapped. According to Premium Times, the governor's spokesperson, Sanusi Batio, said the deposed Emir was smuggled back to Kano with alleged intention to cause mayhem as the reinstated Emir Lamido Sanusi entered the palace. The former Emir was smuggled into Kano City last night in an attempt to forcefully return to the palace 2 days after being deposed by the governor. The new Emir, Sanusi Lamido Sanusi, arrived at the Emir's palace in the company of the governor, the deputy governor, the Speaker of the State Assembly, and other top government functionaries at about 1 a.m. on Saturday the 25th of May 2024. As the Chief Security Officer of the state, His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Kano State, Alhaji Abakabi Yusuf, has directed the Commissioner of Police to arrest the deposed Emir with immediate effect for disturbing public peace and attempting to destroy the relative peace the state enjoys. Bayero, who was said to be out of the state as at the time of his dethronement, was seen in a video posted online to have arrived at Madam Aminu Kano International Airport Saturday morning, where he observed the Muslim morning prayer amidst hundreds of sympathizers and supporters. Voices heard in the video indicated that the sympathizers were singing "He remained the original Emir of Kano" as he committed no offense to warrant his removal. Another video on Saturday morning showed a large crowd of people escorted the 15th Emir of Kano. Men of the Nigeria Police Force have arrested a man who concealed over 1,170 pump-action gun cartridges inside 50 kilograms bags in Onitsha area in Anambra State. The Police Command Public Relations Officer, Tochukwu Ikenga, stated this in a statement he issued on Friday. According to the police statement, the Reverend Father and Professor that were kidnapped in the state have been rescued. The statement reads in quote, "The command operatives leveraging on the practical intelligence and tactical-led operations by CP Nage Obolo Itam acted on the information provided and recorded yet another breakthrough as police operatives intercepted a shuttle bus and recovered 250 kilograms bags containing 4 cartons of 170 pieces live cartridges." The operatives laid ambush on the receipt of information along Port Harcourt Road, Fege, Onitsha. The convener on sighting the police took to his heels before the driver was arrested. The driver is currently undergoing interrogation to guide the investigation. Also, police on May 23, 2024, along Creek Road, Fege arrested one Mr. Kingsley Oji of Okudo Village, Ambili, Imo State, and recovered a stolen Lexus RX 350 with registration number YAB 912R. The vehicle was reported to have been snatched at gunpoint by 6 armed men along Love Line Assembly, Imo State. The suspect confessed to the crime and has made useful information that is assisting in apprehending other gang members. To this end, the CP charged the operatives to sustain the onslaught operation aimed to deny criminal elements dispersed the enjoy in the state and assured the Anambra the command commitment and utmost confidentiality on every information provided and shall be acted upon. In another press release, the police said, His Royal Highness, Muhammad Sanusi II has accused politicians of destroying the emirate system in the northern Nigeria. The Emir of Kano, Sanusi II stated this on Friday while speaking after he was reinstated and reinstalled as the 16th Emir of the Kano Emirate following the State House of Assembly and the state government's assent for the abolishment of the laws that created additional Emirs in the state, also upon which the Emir was dethroned 4 years ago under the immediate past governor of the state. Sanusi stated that politicians balkanized the Emirates in northern Nigeria, with a state with one Emir now becoming 20 and some 19. He also commended Governor Abba Yusuf and members of the House of Assembly for summoning courage in saving Kano State and Nigeria through his reinstatement. He said his reinstatement was a testament that no man could take away whatever God had given. The Emir spoke shortly after receiving his reinstatement letter from Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf at the Africa House, Kano Government House, on Friday. He said, "The Arabians used to say in everything that we are going to witness, there is a lesson that shows us that God is there. Whatever that is happening to an individual is preordained by Allah, and to those that are sensible enough, it's a lesson. God is one, and whatever he does, nobody can change, and what he doesn't do, nobody can." About 10 years ago, in this same place, former Governor Musa Kwankwaso gave me my appointment letter as the Emir of Kano. Today, after 10 years, I am here again receiving the appointment letter by Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf. Time will not permit for long talks. Whatever we will say, we have said it when we were leaving. We made it clear that God has preordained time and cause for everything and everyone. He gave leadership to whom he wants, and at the time, Federal High Court sitting in Benin City, the Edo State capital, has sentenced a man to 1 year imprisonment for spraying naira notes. Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, in a news release made available few hours ago, indicated that the court convicted and sentenced the man to 6 months jail term each of the 2-count charge filed against him for spraying the naira notes at a burial ceremony inside police barrack in Benin City in the month of April 2023. EFCC stated further in the statement that the court gave the convicts monetary option of 100,000 nairas each or served the 1-year jail term. Details of the report and other news releases made available by the EFCC are presented below. Court jails man for spraying naira notes in Benin City. Justice C.A. Obayozo of the Federal High Court sitting in Benin City has convicted and sentenced one Osasi Kenneth Imagbenikaro to jail for spraying naira notes. Imagbenikaro was convicted on a 2-count charge for offense bordering on spraying naira notes on Thursday, May 16, 2024, contrary to Section 21(3) of the Central Bank of Nigeria Establishment Act 2007 and punishable under Section 21(1) of the same Act. One of the counts reads, that you Osasi Kenneth Imagbenikaro, now on or about the 28th day of April 2023 at Ogida Police Barracks, Benin City, Edo State, within the jurisdiction of this honorable court, did spray 100 naira notes at the funeral ceremony and thereby committed an offense contrary to Section 21(3) of the Central Bank of Nigeria Establishment Act 2007 and punishable under Section 21(1) of the same Act. The defendant pleaded guilty to the charge when it was read to him in court. Based on his plea, prosecution counsel Francis Jayobio prayed the group of people protested in Abuja on Friday and blocked the entrance to the National Assembly following the reinstatement and reinstallment of the former governor of Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, Sanusi Lamido Sanusi, as His Royal Highness Muhammad Sanusi II by the Kano State Governor, Abba Yusuf. Reports from Abuja on Friday afternoon also indicated that the protesters blocked National Assembly and the Presidential Villa Gate, demanding President Bola Tinubu's intervention emirate issue in Kano State to abort breakdown of law and order. It was gathered that the protesters marched peacefully along the streets in Abuja, leading to the government facilities carrying signs and banners to express their concerns about the reinstatement of Sanusi as Emir in Kano. The group named Concerned Patriots of Nigeria said Governor Yusuf has taken his abuse of office to another level by dissolving the Traditional Council. The concerned patriots of Nigeria condemned the actions of the Kano State Governor and appealed to the National Assembly and President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to help resolve the issue for the sake of peace in Kano State. In our earlier report, we indicated that His Royal Highness, Muhammad Sanusi II has held his first Jamaat prayer inside Government House in Kano State. The reinstated Emir of Kano, Muhammad Sanusi II was expected by many to lead the Jamaat Friday. Prayers at the Kano Central Mosque situated at the palace in Kofa Kudu after he had received the letter of his reinstatement as the Emir of Kano. Channels Television reported few minutes ago with a video showing the reinstated Emir leading the Friday Muslim prayer at a mosque inside Government House in Kano State. Meanwhile, Kano State Governor Abba Yusuf had on Friday promised to report Justice Mohammed Liman of the Federal High Court for allegedly giving an order stopping the reinstatement of Sanusi Lamido as the 16th Emir of Kano from the United States. His Royal Highness, Muhammad Sanusi II has held his first Jamaat prayer inside Government House in Kano State. The reinstated Emir of Kano, Muhammad Sanusi II was expected by many to lead the Jamaat Friday. Prayers at the Kano Central Mosque situated at the palace in Kofa Kudu after he had received the letter of his reinstatement as the Emir of Kano. Channels Television reported few minutes ago with a video showing the reinstated Emir leading the Friday Muslim prayer at a mosque inside Government House in Kano State. Meanwhile, Kano State Governor Abba Yusuf had on Friday promised to report Justice Mohammed Liman of the Federal High Court for allegedly giving an order stopping the reinstatement of Sanusi Lamido as the 16th Emir of Kano from the United States. Punch newspaper in a report few minutes ago indicated that he said he would report the judge to the Nigeria Governors Forum. Justice Liman had granted the order in an application filed by the Sarkin Dawaki Baba of the Kano Emirate, Aminu Babadan Abuli, to stop the Kano State government from enforcing the Kano State Emirate Council repeal law which dethroned all 5 emirs in the state. However, Yusuf, while reacting to the court order after issuing the reinstatement letter to Lamido at Africa House, Kano State Government House, said, the person that issued the court order was in America but he is ordering us to stop what we are doing. This issue of abuse I must present it before the Governors Forum so that we can tackle it accordingly. We are agents of following due process, that's why we did what we did openly before everybody. Those that are meant to maintain that rule of law remains must follow that also. Punch newspaper report ends in quote. We had earlier reported that the former governor of Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, Sanusi Lamido Sanusi has been Former governor of Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, Sanusi Lamido Sanusi has been reinstalled and reinstated as the 16th Emir of Kano after he was asked to vacate the throne 4 years ago. Sanusi was reinstalled on Friday despite court order asking the Kano State government to stop action. Videos have been posted online showing the reinstallment of the reinstated Emir Sanusi Lamido Sanusi by Kano State government and presentation of reinstatement letter to the 16th Emir of Kano, Muhammad Sanusi II by Kano State Governor Abba Yusuf. Kano State Governor Abba Yusuf had on Thursday evening stated via his social media handle that, after signing the new Kano Emirate Council law at Government House, Kano, today, I hereby announce the reinstatement of His Royal Highness Muhammadu Sanusi II as the Emir of Kano State, AKY. Governor Abba Yusuf, on Thursday, reinstated Sanusi Lamido as the Emir of Kano, 4 years after he was dethroned by a former governor of the state, Abdullahi Ganduje. Videos show traditional rulers, kingmakers, and other dignitaries were at the art chamber of the Kano State Government House where Sanusi received the letter of reinstatement. Kano Governor Abba Yusuf has assented the bill passed by the State Assembly into law, which reversed the Ganduje administration's creation of new emirates into law. There was earlier reports that operatives of the Department of State Services, DSS, have stormed the Kano State Emir's palace after the House of Assembly declared all emirate councils dissolved. In a quick reaction, the Department of State Services debunked the reports that their men stormed the palace of the Emir of Kano after the dissolution of the 5 emirate councils by the State Assembly on Thursday. The Department State Director, Muhammad Al-Hassan, in a statement described a policeman in Jos, the Plateau State capital, may have mistakenly shot dead his colleague while enforcing the state government ban on street trading. A video posted online by residents showed the lifeless body of the policeman who fell to the bullets of his colleague. The victim was a police officer attached to the enforcement team of the Jos Metropolitan Development Board. It was gathered that the incident occurred on Wednesday morning at the Terminus Market in Jos North local government area where security agents and task force officials were said to be battling to clear the area of street trading in the past weeks. Some of the traders said there was tension and confusion at the Terminus Market and Amadu Bello Way behind Zenith Bank in Jos North on Wednesday morning at about 11:30 a.m. resulting to shootings that led to the killing of the police officer. A video showed the security operatives shooting tear gas to scare people away while the lifeless body of the policeman was lying on the ground. Nigeria Police Force Authority was yet to issue statement over the incident as at the time of filling in this report.
Flat ya mutu. Flat. Wallahi flat ya mutu.
I'm on a terminus with this.
Osazuwa Radio, bringing you the news in a more digital way.
Nigerian Army Authority has said that it had decided to shut down market activities at the popular electronics market in Abuja, Balance Plaza, after some traders were seen in a video on Saturday gang beating some soldiers. Nigerian Army said its decision to close the market is to avoid a repeat of what happened at Okpama community in Delta State on March 14, 2024, when gunmen suspected to be fighting for the community ambushed and murdered the commanding officer of 181 Army Amphibious Battalion, 2 majors, 1 captain and 13 soldiers who were said had gone to the community to ensure peace between the community and its neighboring village, Okoloba community. In what may be seen as an irony, the chairman, Code of Conduct Tribunal, CCT, Danladi Umar was seen in a video assaulting a security guard at Balance Plaza in Abuja in March 2021, but this time, traders were seen beating soldiers over an issue that is yet to be officially stated. A video posted online yesterday indicated that the crisis started at a shop at the upper floor of one of the story buildings in the market with a shop named Kuma Global Business Venture. In the video, there was fighting among the security personnel and some people at the shop. One of the security personnel was seen shot tear gas while running backward from an attacker who was trying to use his leg to kick him. Voices at the background of the video indicated that shop owners and attendants hurriedly closed their shops to avoid the chemical warfare burning sensation in their eyes, nose, mouths and lungs. Punch newspaper had reported that one of the military personnel keeping watch at the popular phone market, Balance Plaza, in the Wuse 2 area of the Federal Capital Territory, has slapped a lady into a coma. Balance Plaza has been shut down for the 4th day following a free-for-all fight between traders and some soldiers on Saturday. Federal High Court sitting in Abuja has granted 2 weeks bail to former Deputy Commissioner of Police, DCP Abba Kyari, to enable him complete the burial rites of his mother, Yachila Kyari, who died on May 5, 2024 and was buried same day in accordance with Islamic rites. Justice Emeka Nwite of the Federal High Court in Abuja granted DCP Abba Kyari the 2 weeks bail, described it as a compassionate bail. The trial judge gave the order pending the ruling of Kyari's bail application slated for May 31, 2024. According to Channels Television, the court granted the former commander of the Force Intelligence Response Team, DCP Abba Kyari, temporary bail for 2 weeks on passionate grounds, to go bury his mother to the tune of 50 million naira and the surety in like sum. Justice Nwite held that the surety, which shall be his counsel in the matter, should deposit a copy of his call to birth certificate to the Deputy Registrar of the court. Kyari was also asked to deposit his travel passport with the court and should always report to any formation of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, nearest to him within the period the bail was granted for. DCP Abba Kyari got the 2 weeks bail after 27 months in detention. Punch newspaper added that Kyari is expected to conclude his mother, Yachila Kyari's burial rites. The court subsequently set Friday, May 31st, for the determination of his bail application in the trial over drug-related charges filed by the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency following his arrest over 2 years ago on February 14, 2022. Recall that the mother died in the early hours of Sunday, May 5, 2024, and was survived by 10 children, 5 males and 5 females, including Abba, who is the eldest son. While Abba Kyari was not able to attend his mother's burial,
Osazuwa Radio, bringing you the news in a more digital way.